Greetings everyone, it's Moodog from Moodog's Frugal RCs and more. Today we are in the research kitchen doing an unboxing of a brand new ukulele I purchased on Amazon.com. I'll post a link in the description for you guys if you want to check this one out on your own. Without any further ado, what we're going to be looking at today, guys, is a brand new one from Caramel. Now, Caramel is a company that sells directly through their website, caramelukuleles.com, Amazon, eBay, and probably a couple of other sites. I'm not really too sure, but if I find any information out going forward, I make sure that I post that in the post edit. So the box that it came in is right here. It came in a large Amazon box as well, but this is what we get as far as the box from China, and it looks pretty good, guys. Now this was stocked in an Amazon warehouse, so I only had to wait 2 days to get this. Not too bad. Let's get this open and see what comes inside. All right, looks pretty securely packed. I don't see any issues with the box at all. I like the fact that they're using a lot of bubble wrap on here. It seems to be pretty nice and secure. Let's go ahead and get this out of here and take a look and see what we have. Now we do have an Allen wrench. This one does have a truss rod built into the neck, which is very cool. Let's get the rest of the cardboard out of the way. I am a firm believer, if you guys know my channel at all, if you've been following me through my RC videos as well as some of the other stuff that I have out here, that I am a firm believer in bang for the buck items. They're out there if you know what to look for. They're easy enough to find, and you don't have to spend an arm and leg to get good quality product. In this case, musical instruments for the money. All right, guys, let's have a closer look at this beautiful instrument. You can see it looks very much like the CT904 or the CB500, which would be the baritone version of the same instrument, with a really unique looking binding going all the way around the body, both on the front and on the back side here. It goes all the way around the edge of the shape of the body here. So very nicely done on that, guys. I went ahead and I installed my own strap buttons on here. We won't pay much attention to that, but those do not come on this instrument when you buy it. There are no strap buttons. So what we're looking at here, guys, is a I almost said rosewood, but this is actually an ebony laminate body on this particular ukulele. The top, the sides, and the back are all ebony laminate. You can see the book match right here. I did a pretty good job on that, it looks like. You can see the seam in the middle. So this is a two-piece top, two-piece sides, and I believe a two-piece back. We'll flip it over to take a look at that in just a second. But you can see the nice ebony grain on here. This is pretty standard for a lot of cuts of ebony. They come in with a darker grain path on it, and they also have some lighter areas as well. So this looks very, very nice. The bridge and the fingerboard are all made of Richlite material. Richlite is a company that makes composite paper and wood product for countertops, and also now for the guitar industry. CF Martin now uses on some of their models the Richlite material. It's easy to work with. It's actually environmentally friendly, all that good stuff. Being that rosewood is very kind of protected right now. It's a kind of almost an endangered species. It doesn't grow quickly, so instead of mowing it all down, they're starting to use alternative materials, and the Richlite seems to be working out really, really well. The fretwork on here is outstanding, guys. I'll show you this real quick here. We'll bring it just a little bit farther out, and I'll show you kind of a close-up look at the fretwork. The fretwork on this instrument is outstanding for the price you're paying. We have nickel silver frets all the way through. Very nice feeling, very level. I checked it with a straight edge while I changed the strings earlier, and all the frets are nice and level. The fretboard itself is pretty much pin straight. Very nicely done there out of the box. The saddle and the nut are both going to be ox bone. We can see that the caramel logo is actually laser etched in. The finish on the headstock is absolutely beautiful, guys. We have a truss rod cover that's also made of wood, and then 3 black screws. The tuners on this guy here are going to be sealed geared tuners, but what's nice about these guys is the buttons on here, almost kind of a rubberized feel. Very nice. These are very, very smooth feeling tuners. I can't say enough about the feel and the outfitting of this particular instrument. Very attractive looking 2-point crowned on the headstock, as well as kind of a, you can see kind of a curved, kind of curves in on both sides. Then you have the nice little 2-pointed crown up on top there. Just really elegant looking all the way through. I'll go ahead and bring this up. Now, I did do a little bit of setup work on this when I got it in. I had the strings off. I removed the saddle, and I lowered the string height in the rear to where I liked it. It was playable out of the box. It felt pretty good, but I'm kind of picky when it comes to that stuff, and I ended up taking some material off the saddle and lowered the string height down at these higher frets down here. But we can see that the binding on here is very, very nice, guys. It looks very elegant, kind of ties the whole color scheme in together. We have kind of a cream wood binding. This is all wood binding and a couple different colors of wood as well. I have almost kind of a mahogany looking inlay on there, and then we have the black and the cream color as well. Ties it all together. This one on the bridge, you're going to have bridge pins as opposed to a slotted bridge, or as opposed to a tie bar bridge. Very nice, kind of, if you guys are familiar at all with acoustic guitars, this is pretty much the style for acoustic guitars. We have the kind of artwork up on top here. I was told on another video that is a Japanese fighting fish, and I will be ding-danged if that does not look like a pile of leaves to me. Whatever it is, it's very nice, it's very unique, and it really gives this instrument a nice character and a nice look. This is a acoustic electric instrument. We can see that we have a built-in tuner on here, guys. So if you never use this thing electrically, or if you never plug it in and use it through an amplifier, you have a really nice tuner built into it. Pardon me. We have bass, treble, and bass, middle, and treble as far as the EQing on here. Master volume, and then we have our tuner button. Tuner you just would turn on by pressing that button in the center there, and you can see that we have our tuner, and I'll demonstrate that a little bit later on. But very nice that this does come with batteries, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Batteries are already pre-installed. All you pretty much do is just plug and play. On the bottom of the instrument here, guys, is where the battery gets installed. Is actually two 2032 lithium ion cell. They're actually coin cell batteries that fit in the slot right here. I'm not going to go through and take that apart, but they go right in there, and then your standard jack for plugging this in electrically is right next to it there. The piezo pickup is going to be housed underneath the bridge right here. So when I did have the bridge out, I could see the ribbons underneath, and everything looked to be put together really, really nicely. There was a block in the back of this body here too, guys, so I went ahead and installed a button for the strap button, I should say. So that's been done. Again, they're not getting that out of the box. There are no strap buttons on this. Let's go ahead and flip it over to the back side and take a look at the grain on the back here, guys. Stunning. Again, we have that beautiful ebony look on here, and this looks like this might be all one piece. I don't see any seam at all in here. So this back laminate top is this laminate back is going to be one solid piece of lumber. Very, very nice. A couple of small blemishes on here from the factory. Looks like it's a spot where the stain didn't take correctly. Maybe there was something on here, and there's a small little scratch up here where the body and the heel meet. The neck is, I'm not quite sure what wood this neck is. I'm going to go ahead and guess it's probably mahogany. I'll correct that in the post edit on the video if I find out any different. But we have a 3-piece neck. You have a heel section, the neck itself, and then over here you can see the headstock is a separate piece itself. So I like this because they paid some attention to the color of the wood. Sometimes you buy these instruments from China, and you're finding that this is really super dark, that's light, and it doesn't match correctly. It kind of looks funny, but this one is actually done quite nicely. One other blem that I found on here, and I'm not really complaining too much on this, but I just wanted to point this out. You might be expecting this type of thing when you purchase a instrument at this level. There's a small light spot right there on the top of the right shoulder here, but nothing too terrible. The bridge is all fastened on there nicely. Looks very good, and the real test is how it sounds. One other thing I wanted to point out on this, and I'm going to do a quick comparison. I'm going to grab another Tenor ukulele that I have, so stick with me just for a second here. This is my Acklot AKET 26. This is a Tenor as well by Acklot. Now, this one you could see a difference in the thickness of the body. It's quite pronounced. The Acklot is actually probably about a half, or between a quarter and 3/8 or so of an inch thicker in the body width. What that does is creates a bigger area here and more prone to feedback, that type of thing, I guess you could say, for something like this if you're playing it electrically. Let's go ahead and set that aside. The Caramel is actually thinner, as we saw, and that's going to just translate to less feedback, I guess, when you're running this electrically. Now, I don't know too much about the piezo pickups in here and how those feedback, if they do at all, but I'm guessing that's one of the reasons that they made this a little bit thinner, and this is being more of a, I guess you could say, performance ukulele, something that you can take out on the road or on stage and play. I would not be ashamed to take this on stage at all. It is that nice. So let's go ahead and get this thing tuned up real quick, and I'll strum a couple chords and let you guys hear the sounds. All right, guys, I'm here with a little sound demonstration of the Caramel CT904 ebony body, laminate, the whole 9 yards. We went through the whole description already. I'm going to be playing this acoustically, just a couple of chords, nothing super fancy. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'm really enjoying this instrument, and I'm really thinking that this is a good buy, and Caramel seems to be a pretty reputable company, and they make it a pretty good product, in my opinion. So let me know what you think. Don't critique the playing so much, but I'm going to strum a couple of chords and let you guys hear what this thing sounds like. that's it, guys. Loving it, and loving it some more. I think for the money you're spending on this, it's going to represent a really good value all the way down the line. We'll go ahead and do a quick flyby here and give you guys another quick look at the instrument itself here. I highly recommend it for beginners, highly recommend it even for those that might have played guitar or be playing guitar, just looking for a good performance and practice instrument to have around the house. Sturdy feel, nice heavy, sturdy feel. The craftsmanship on here is pretty nice, guys. You can see that right here. It's laminate, but I actually kind of prefer a laminate body, laminate top or laminate body over a solid, only because there's less maintenance, less worry about warping and those types of things with a laminate. That's pretty much it for this one, guys. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. We'll see you all in the next one, and God bless the Republic.